All right, Coach, we are pleased as always to be bringing you coverage of the National Football League on EA Sports. Nothing like the fanfare of introductions to an NFL game, and that was in evidence a moment ago. Fireworks, pyrotechnics, you name it, this crowd is ready as their guys get set to match up between the Minnesota Vikings and the Houston Texans. The first 2 months of the regular season down. What will the final two bring us as we're off in Week 9? And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. Defense feeling the encouragement. They stop him at the line of scrimmage on the first play of the afternoon. Officially no gain on the play, and it's second down.
Oh, no chance, no chance. Ooh, that's what I'm talking about, baby. Woo, defense, let's go. Let's go.
They had to run for no gain. Now they'll try again from the 25 on 2nd and 10. Back to throw now on 2nd and 10. And incomplete there. A nice hit. Jars the ball free and brings up third down.
Even without a ton of pressure in his face, it just shows how difficult it is to pick apart his own defense. Those guys are sitting back, and they're not playing receivers as much as they're playing the eyes of the quarterback and when he delivers the ball.
So now an early 3rd and 10 here on their opening drive.
Gun!
He'll look to throw. Open man is Thielen. It's complete. A really nice gain of 25 yards.
Nice catch right there. Brings to mind the sentence, when in doubt, find your veterans.
He used to laugh back in the day when they would call guys like him crafty veterans. You get up in your 30s, you're still playing receiver, but you're around that long at that position, you're doing something right.
Just remember this. When he was young, he thought the crafty veteran was simply a guy who couldn't run anymore. Now he understands a little bit better.
And now the Texans are going to stop it as they signal for a timeout. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this first quarter.
Detroit! What's tight? Tight end's right. What's tight? Tight end's right. Over!
First down, here's the run with Cook. And he's going to get this one down to the 45. 5 yards on the carry. Good pickup on first down.
Well, I think that's what they're going to need to do here in the first half. You've got to take some pressure off of this young quarterback, and no better way to do it than to establish the running game early.
On second down, Cook. And they'll bring him down after just a short pickup. It'll only be a gain of a yard, and it sets up a 3rd down and 4 now.
Well, we just saw a great example of what we talked about with his coach prior to the game. He's definitely one of the better linebackers at reading a play and flowing to make the stop before it turns into something big.
Three down. Set! Blue landing!
Out of the gun now on 3rd down. He rifles one that's intercepted. Picked off by the linebacker, C.J. Mosley. And the return stops just a few yards shy of midfield. They'll spot the ball at the 47-yard line.
Blitz! Dude, we can't be stopped. You see me out here? That's right. We can't be stopped.
Watson will bring up the Texans here, 1st and 10 on their side of midfield at the 47.
Blue 80! Blue 80!
to fight his way forward here for a modest gain. The tackle goes there to Linval Joseph.
I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable second down. A very solid gain on that play.
Tiger. Hey, switch gears.
Here's Watson now on second down. And his pass incomplete.
I think we'll see more of them trying to get him the football out of the backfield. They love what he can do in open space, and they believe that he creates mismatches they can exploit.
So after the second down incompletion, they'll come up now against a 3rd and 6.
Hey, we got Richmond.
A shotgun snap for Watson. Oh, he almost picked it. Nearly a turnover there on their opening drive. And that's a throw he'd like to have back. Now 4th down. Now Jordan Berry on to kick this one away. And just a single punt for him in the loss last week as he sends this one away. Yeah, that is much too long. That's into the end zone for a touchback. The Vikings offense now heading out to take over. That opening drive ended with the INT. It didn't lead to points, but still not the way they were hoping to begin the game.
But how about going and telling your defense, thank you, a huge thank you. You said it didn't lead to points, stalled off that drive. Now they've got a chance to redeem themselves and maybe reward their defense a little bit by putting some points on the board on this one.
Watch him now, Barney!
Here's Cook as they begin on the ground. He'll get about 3 as he's taken down at the 23.
When we see those runs to the perimeter, when we see those runs to the edge, we think about big breakers, don't we? In this case, it was a modest gain, but it does open up possibilities here on second down.
Now 2nd and 7 from the 23.
Mike 55.
He'll look to throw. And the hit jarred it loose. It's incomplete.
You get a tight end like this, and you know he's used to dishing out punishment, but here, he's one that has to absorb the contact, and as a result, unable to hold on to the football.
They head to the line facing a 3rd and 7 following the incompletion on second down.
Lucky 56.
Back to throw. Under pressure, and the Texans able to get in there for the sack. Great job defensively. I think he was trying to go through his progressions, find someone to get rid of the football. Before he knew it, he was on his back.
So that just brings us right back to what you said in the beginning. A great job defensively. Nowhere to go with the football. That led to the sack.
Returnable here from the 38. Very good return that time. 18 yards. And the Texans with great field position to start this drive as they take over 1st and 10. The Texans offense now, they get set to head back on the field here. And our game's hit a little bit of a lull here, a little bit of a snag. Punts on back-to-back drives.
And old school coaches don't necessarily mind that. Didn't turn it over, right? Didn't create a big play for the other team. Right now what you're looking for is can you gain an advantage in field position? And that's what both teams are seeking right now.
They'll be seeking to gain that advantage here on this drive. And he gets this inside the 35-yard line. A pickup of 11 and a Texans 1st down.
And that's a run that'll energize an offensive line. They'll take that one all day long. Fundamental breakdown by the defense. You've got to be able to make plays on the edge.
So they'll come up 1st and 10 now from the 33. first down. And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked off by the Pro Bowler, Anthony Barr. And this return is going to be halted right around the 28-yard line. They told us repeatedly earlier in the week in our meetings, we need some plays from our defense here on the road early. They got one.
And don't think they were above all week long pointing out to their defense that the other defense is rated higher than them. You going to let that happen, guys? Is that how we're going to play? And they responded to the challenge.
Strong right.
They'll come out throwing for the first down. He couldn't quite hold it. Got hit. Ball pops out, incomplete.
The beauty of being able to play a zone defense, when you can sit back and see the ball coming out of the quarterback's hands, guess what? Creates a lot of confusion, kind of a muddle in the middle of the field where you can go make a play on the football.
So now they'll come up on 2nd and 10, once again from the 28.
Watch him now, Barney!
Again, this is Cook. And he'll get about 3 here as he's out to the 30.
Well, that's a good start to this drive on the defensive side of the ball.
Force the incompletion on first down. Then you're able to shut down the running play on second.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised now. A little bit of pressure going at the quarterback in an expected passing situation.
The Vikings on 3rd down. Just 1 for 3 thus far. This is 3rd and 7.
Hey.
They'll drop the throw. And with a flag down, he goes down. So they're able to sack him. Now the penalty looks like it could be holding. Let's find out. So instead of giving them another 3rd down, they'll decline it, brings up 4.
Now that's smart football right there. You don't even have to really spend a lot of time considering it. Just know that you're probably going to get the ball back. Good job declining that penalty.
That's pulled in at the 32. 12 yards on the return that time. And the Texans will take over with a 1st and 10. The Texans offense now, they get set to head back onto the field. And this is a unit that, to be frank, doesn't look like they've woken up yet. I mean, a punt and a turnover on their first 2 drives.
And I think the game's starting to take shape a little bit now. And I'm going to take it into the basketball world. When you're having trouble scoring or moving the ball in basketball, what do? Get it to their best player,
Back
right?
22!
Find a matchup,
Back 22!
create it, exploit it, and try to move the football.
They go back to the air here after the INT on the last drive. And he'll be taken down across the 50 at the 45 in enemy territory. Give him 10 yards there, and about by the nose of the football, he's going to have a first down.
Tight end's right. We got 4.
Watson on first down. He's going to fire one deep, middle of the field. And lucky to get away with one there. That one nearly picked. 2nd down.
Well, nearly another interception there. That would have been 2 drives in a row with a pick. He's got to start taking care of the ball way better than what we're seeing.
Interestingly, that throw was probably worse than the one he threw the interception on last drive, but fell incomplete. So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on first down.
Watch tight. Tight end right. Even. 4. Come back.
Throwing again is Watson. And incomplete there. A nice hit. Jars the ball free and brings up 3rd down.
He kind of forced that one there, didn't he? It's almost like he predetermined where he was going to go with the football.
Yeah, he wasn't really going through progressions. He wanted to go to his top guy. You do that against this defense, they'll make you pay, won't they?
Yeah, they certainly will. They react very quickly to the thrown football.
So back-to-back incompletions, and that has him staring at a 3rd and 10.
4 down. Alert. Hey, check 24. Reset. Tiger. 55.
Watson down to throw.
Hey, pick your game up.
It's complete to Fuller. And he'll be out just a yard or 2 shy of the 30. They get 14 on that one. Good for a Houston first down.
And another thing that makes the comeback route really effective is that oftentimes after you've made the initial move, receivers breaking away from the defensive back, and that makes it a really tough play to defend. And nice chunk of yardage picked up there.
Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10.
Tight ends on the Ringo.
Set. Black 22. Black 22.
On 1st down, it's Watson. And left side here, it's Graham. And he's able to get it down to the 25-yard line. A gain of 6 there on 1st. That's a staple of this offense. Drag route to the tight end.
Yeah, he's unable to use his size to break off much more yardage after the catch, but still an effective gain nonetheless.
Six yards was the pickup on the last completion, so here's 2nd and 4.
Tight ends left. Hey, 4 down, 4 down.
Now a first carry for their fullback. And a short gain here down to the 22. The tackle made there by Linval Joseph.
The end result was brute force on brute force. But think about everything that's going on if you're playing defensive tackle. You're dealing with at least one blocker across from you, trying to deal with him, shed him, and maybe even a second one before you have to try and make the tackle on the big guy.
Double tight. Hey. 4 down, 4 down, 4 down.
Tiger.
Watson on 3rd down. And he's caught on the sideline, but he's not going to have a first down. They say he was out of bounds, so a big call there. That brings up 4th.
Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that defense right there? The zone was absolutely locked up tight. He was trying to force it in there on 3rd down.
But if there's a time to force it, he felt like he needed to make a play, right?
Yeah, exactly right. 3rd down, you got to try and find something. There's nothing available there for him.
Now the Texans are going to call on the field goal unit. And this a 39-yard attempt. And this one is right through. And it's now 3-0 Texans. So they do get 3 points, but that's now 3 drives with only the 3 points, not a ratio that's going to win you many ball games.
Not at all, Brandon. And think about it this way. We all know payoff is the key, right? And wouldn't we love to have the concession on every T-shirt that's been printed in football that says finish on it? Because that's the mantra everywhere. Got to be able to finish drives, put points on the board.
The Vikings offense now, they get ready to head back on the field. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means you're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency, move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of first downs, and hopefully flip the field.
Yeah, just something to build off of.
Hurry
That's
up,
what
here we
they're
go.
looking for
Blue
here.
90. Blue 90. Over.
They start the drive with Clark. And he'll go down right at the 30-yard line. Give him 5 on the carry there, and it'll be 2nd down.
I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable 2nd down. A very solid gain on that play.
Ball on the 30. They'll come up with a 2nd and 5.
All right, here we go. 3:19.
Back now with
3:19.
Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gaudin. Second quarter begins with the Vikings holding the football. They've got a 2nd down at 5 here to start things out.
Black 99 Philly, here we go. Over.
And off comes to Cook. He works his way forward for a couple up past the 30.
Some of these play calls, I think they're a little conservative, but you know me, because it's easy to sit up in this booth, right, and make all the calls and think I'm going to be correct. But I would like to see them open things up, because otherwise this defense is going to gang up on the run and shut them down.
The Vikings on third down. They've only converted once in 4 tries. This is 3rd and 4.
Hurry up, here we go. Green 39. Green 39. Hot.
They'll set up a throw. Flushed out right. He may try and run for this. Only able to get back a yard for his efforts, and that leads us to 4th down.
And, partner, I would guess that in his headset he was hearing from his coach, it's 3rd down, don't take a sack. And in this case, he's able to avoid the pressure and get out of there. He doesn't get the first down, but he does turn a possible loss into positive yardage.
And not what he was hoping for there, as this will hit in the end zone for a touchback. And here comes the Texans now. And they split the uprights last time for 3. They've got the lead. They're not going to play this conservative. They're not hoping for another field goal. They're hoping for a touchdown.
I'm with you on that one. I like where your head is. I like the way you're thinking because you're exactly right. Trying to sit on a lead and play that way, that doesn't work too well for most teams. Run your offense. Run what you do best. Exactly. Put it all the way down and try to increase your lead in a big way. And the best way to do it, touchdowns.
And they'll go on the ground. And he finds some space past the 25 to the 27. It's a 7-yard carry to set them up with a 2nd and 3.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
Double tight, guys, double tight. Hey, we are
Down. Black 22. Black 22.
And on the ground they go. And he's able to take this one up to the 35-yard line. It's an 8-yard pickup and leads to a new set of downs.
So many teams want to throw the ball in this situation nowadays, but I love watching a team that has enough confidence to go ahead and run the football. In that situation, that's almost a tendency breaker.
Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10.
tight right.
Red. Black 22. Black 22.
Now a 1st down throw. Watson. Being chased out left. And he'll be brought down right around the 37. Give him a couple on the scramble. It's 2nd down.
Yeah, he only gets a few yards on 1st and 10, but he's better off doing that than throwing an incompletion or even worse, an interception.
Man left. Hey, boys, we got 4 down.
Tiger.
Check the backer.
They'll try the air now with Watson. He's got Fuller. And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled. 10 yards there, good enough for a Texan 1st down.
Now that was pretty. They executed that curl route versus zone coverage, and that changes things a little bit because against man, it's often a tight curl, a sharply run route. Against zone, you're just looking for that open spot, that dead area, so you may curl it a little bit wider just to get to that place.
And usually a tight window, pull it in there for completion. And they'll stop him right on the midfield stripe. Give him 3 on 1st down. It'll set up a 2nd and 7.
A good solid game there on 1st down, but the defense has to be happy they didn't let it pop for anything bigger.
Tight end left. We got 4.
Down. Blue 80. Blue 80.
Take 4.
And they'll go ground game here with a tailback. And he's able to get this one down to the 40-yard line. 10 yards there, good enough for a Texan 1st down.
Tremendous blocking by the interior of the offensive line. They didn't just gash him there. They blasted a gaping hole for him to gallop through. I think if he comes back to the huddle, he better be giving them a whole lot of credit and thanking them for that much space to rumble.
This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10.
I got him. Set. Green the line. Green the line.
Check line 54. Line 54.
Right back to him on 1st down. He'll wind up getting 4 down to the 36.
Check.
Tough running there. That's a hard-earned 4 yards.
Yeah, those are the unsung kind of runs. They don't fill up the stat sheet, but they do set you up in good position on 2nd down.
Yeah, baby. Tight end right. Even. 4 down. Even.
On 2nd down, here's Watson. He's letting this one go for Fuller. Got a man open. It's Fuller for the Texans touchdown. Will Fuller, his first touchdown on the year. And the Texans will extend their lead.
Now, that touchdown won't allow you to totally relax, but you can breathe a little easier now. Just increased their lead.
Extra point was hooking, but he does make it through. And the lead grows to 10-0. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. This will be fielded at the 6. And he'll take this up past the 20 and down at the 22-yard line. Now the Vikings offense gets set to take over here. And right now these guys, they're shuffling a little bit, maybe doubting, because 3 straight drives have ended with them punting the football away.
Yeah, so you start pointing fingers at each other a little bit, asking a lot of questions. What are you seeing? What are you getting? Maybe trying to narrow down your playbook a little bit and maybe get simpler rather than more complex in order to try and fashion together a drive.
And now the Texans want to call another timeout. That's their 2nd, so they'll have 1 remaining here in this 2nd quarter. We'll be right back.
Single receiver. Hey, you're on an island over there. Single receiver.
Over!
Out.
Detroit!
They'll run it now. And they're able to get this one across the 35. First play of the drive going for 14 and also going for a 1st down.
Well, he does it at a high level, doesn't he? Because when I watch him, I think of his vision. Straight ahead, peripheral, also has that sense of where holes are going to be before they actually open. I think that helps set him apart from many of the other backs in the league.
So from the 36 now, 1st and 10.
Slot. Hey, you're on an island over there. You're on an island.
Hurry up, here we go!
Now on 1st down, he'll drop to throw it. Going deep for Diggs. Into a double team, and it's intercepted. It's the Honey Badger, Tyrann Mathieu. And he will take this all the way up past the 40-yard line.
Oh, timing is everything on a route like this. He tried to drive that football into a tight spot. And if you're a little early or a little late, chances are there's going to be someone there. And sure enough, this one's going the other way.
Watson will bring up the Texans here, 1st and 10 at the 41-yard line.
Tight on the right. 4 down.
Richmond! Down! Black 22! Black!
After the interception, here's Watson. And Grant's got it over the middle. And he is down deep into Minnesota territory. A huge play there for Houston. 48 yards.
There will always be a place for methodically marching the ball downfield. But when you can pick it up in big chunks and strike like that, have explosive plays, that's often the difference in winning and losing. Those types of plays that can knock the defense off balance, that'll drive the team towards a victory.
And able to push his way forward here for a good little gain. He'll get a nice chunk there on the 1st down run, and it's 2nd and 4.
Frustrating for a defense, energizing for an offense. Finding a way to create that type of yardage in your running game, that'll make the guys carrying the ball very, very happy.
Woo, woo! Yeah, baby!
2 minutes remain here in the first half. We're back to Houston after this timeout.
Richmond. Hey, back 22.
On the give, this is their fullback. Trying to keep those big legs churning, but he's going to go down in the backfield. It'll be a loss of a yard, and that'll make it third down.
Hey. Four down. Black 99, feel it.
Tighten up.
Come back. Tiger.
Mike 54.
Defense shows blitz. Watson. That is caught. Hopkins for the Texans touchdown. DeAndre Hopkins, his second touchdown on the season. And the Texans will add on to their lead. Well, that's about as quick of a passing touchdown as you'll ever see.
Everyone has a section in the playbook called the quick game. That was a super quick game. Out of the hands of the thrower, bam, right to the receiver, successfully for a touchdown.
How in-depth is that quick game part of the playbook?
It's pretty in-depth because people want the ball in the hands of the quarterback into the playmaker's hands downfield as fast as possible. There are a lot of plays, a lot of options involved with that.
This will be taken short. And they're going to wind up with pretty good starting field position as they get it up past the 35. And now out comes Minnesota. And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive? Or no, you just throw that out the window?
I think you are. I don't think that there's any way you can run back out there and go, totally didn't affect me. Let's just go ahead and be loose with the football again. You're going to take care of it, but you have to be careful about being too cautious because now you can't run the offense at all.
How they attack him here. And a good swarm to the football defensively as they get him down at about the 40. 3 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be second down. Looking to throw.
J.J. Watt makes another tackle there, and it's for minimal gain. And let's face it, if that's all you're going to get running the ball, you're not going to have much success against him and his team.
Or, yeah, you better find a way to go around J.J. Watt, which isn't easy to do.
It's really not because you got to try everything. Can you go around him? Can you go by him? Can you influence him to get him out of position so maybe you can wall him off? He's a really sharp, intelligent player as well as a physical specimen.
And he's out of bounds as he gets this down to the 45. Call it a 3-yard gain, and that'll make this a second down. Running back, and he's got him complete. And this time he's able to take it down to the 42. Give him 3 on the play, and they're going to have a third down.
Over!
A 10th carry in the game. And he'll take it inside the 40 to the 39-yard line. It's a pickup of 3, but it brings up what will be an interesting 4th and 1.
Lucky 56.
Running for it. Here's Cook. And he's able to get the first before he's taken down at the 36. Now a timeout taken. Perhaps a chance for one more quick play and then another timeout if they hurry. We'll see. The 4th down run successful. Now they look to pay it off on first down.
Tight end's right.
They'll look to throw here on first down. Body nowhere to go. Here he lost the football. The Texans scoop it, and they will take 32-yard line. Good starting field position for the Houston Texans here as they come up 1st and 10.
4 down, 4 down.
And with time running down, they go down to a knee. So we've come upon halftime here in Houston, and it's the home team, the Texans, leading this one. As we send you on over to Orlando for Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Take it away, Coach. It's the Texans in front, and they're going to get the football first as we are back underway in the 3rd quarter. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. And the Texans set to come onto the field. This is sort of what you would call a put-away drive, isn't it? They score here, especially a touchdown. It's almost out of reach.
It certainly feels that way, and I think that they're going to call their plays accordingly because what you really want to do, even though you know the scoreboard is still up there and the game's going to go on, the fact you can take the spirit away from another team, that their drive and will to come back and win can be taken with another score right here.
It's still 3rd quarter, but you just get that feel.
Yeah, they're teetering right there on the brink, aren't they?
On 1st and 10, Watson. And a flag comes in as that one falls incomplete. Well, let's see who this is on. Well, he was just trying to contain DeAndre Hopkins, and he got a little too close.
And because of his ability to line up in different spots on the field and come at you from different angles, different guys have to cover him, and all of them have the same issue. How do you do it without interfering? In this case, it didn't get done.
Watson will bring up the Texans here, 1st and 10. Just shy of midfield at the 48.
Green the line! Green the line!
Now it's Watson. And he's going to drop this off to his fullback. Give him 7 on the play, and it's a 2nd down.
And the big guy catches the ball out of the backfield, and oftentimes that's quite a surprise to the guys playing defense because not ordinarily thought as a pass catcher, it often works when they decide to dial it up.
Able to get 7 on that 1st down pass play, 2nd and 3.
Double tight. We got 4.
Red! Black 22! Black 22! Reset, reset, reset!
Now Watson. Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked off by the linebacker, Eric Kendricks. And his guys are going to take over at the 34-yard line. They needed a break. They needed to make a play here in the 3rd quarter. Defensively, they did that. Now they got to go quickly and get some points on the board.
And the best part is that they made their own break. Taking the ball away. Now they just look at their offense and saying, guys,
let's go.
Come on, capitalize on this one.
From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10.
Watch him now, Barney! Barney! Hurry up, here we go! Green 30!
They're going to play action here on 1st down. He's going to flip one out to his running back. Solid move, but he's corralled just beyond the 40. 6 yards on the pickup, and that'll make it 2nd down. And now the Texans are going to stop it as they signal for a timeout. It's just their first, so 2 remaining as they burn one here in this 3rd quarter.
Watch him now, Barney! Barney!
Check, 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 check.
Carry, it's Cook. And this play will be blown up. He'll lose yardage back at the 38. He'll wind up losing 3. And now it's 3rd down.
I like the strategy. Extra tight ends, extra beef. They want to run the football. But that means they probably want to run it inside. If you get strung out on the perimeter, you're in peril.
Yeah, we saw the result. Negative yardage. This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down.
What's tight? Tight is right.
Now let's go! 3-19! 3-19!
They'll set up to throw.
Crash.
And he's going to be intercepted a 3rd time. It's the Honey Badger, Tyrann Mathieu. And to the 43. So down inside the 45 to the 43-yard line. That's where they'll take over.
Nice pick, nice pick. line. Green the line.
Right there, right there. 54 more.
Hut.
Watch the screen, watch the screen.
Now they'll run it on the toss. And he got blown up. Losing yardage on the play back at the 44. It's a loss of 2 there, bringing up second down.
I'd say the staff that's up in the booth watching the game, they may want to file that one away. See how fast the free safety closed to make that play? Might want to check into a throw the next time.
So the opening play of the drive goes backwards. Now they'll come up on 2nd and 12.
4 down, 4 down.
Hey, green the line. Green the line.
They run a draw here on 2nd down. And this one goes nowhere. Losing yardage on the play back at the 46. He lost 2 there, and it's 3rd down.
Brandon, come game film time, that'll be a clip and save on how to play the draw. Clogged everything up in the middle, and as he broke out to the right, everybody got a piece of the action on the tackle.
So time to start going in the other direction as they come up now 3rd and long.
Set. Green the line. Green the line.
3rd and long. It's Watson. Caught left side, Hopkins. And the stop here will come at the 38-yard line. It'll be a gain of 8, but it'll also lead to a 4th down.
Whether you're playing West Coast offense or not, one of the maxims of the West Coast offense is you're either throwing a touchdown or a check down. In other words, look for the big shot, but be smart. And I think they did exactly that on that play. They didn't get the first down, but they're taking care of the ball well.
Yeah, being rightly cautious with that lead here in the second half. And now out comes Minnesota. The backup, his first throw. Finding his safety valve here. That's complete. And down he'll go at the 25. Call it a gain of 3, and it'll make it 2nd down.
Alert, alert. 3 down, 3 down. Check your hot read.
Fighting off the defender. And there is nowhere for him to cut back as he's taken down in the backfield. It's a loss of 2, now 3rd down.
Well, if these guys are going to chop into that deficit, they're going to have to do a much better job in the run game. Caught behind the line of scrimmage, no yardage to be found.
This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down.
Move.
On 3rd down, Brissett. Open man is Thielen is complete. And he's taken down but able to slip across the 35. And now before this first down play, we're going to get a timeout here. It's just their first, so 2 remaining as they burn one here in this 3rd quarter. So from the 36 now, 1st and 10.
Tight end right. Hey, guys, check me out. We got 3 down, but we got to stand up over there. Big edge. Check 26. Check.
Chased by him and able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. 10 more there and another first down.
A good run there off right tackle in an old school NFL football. The right side of the offensive line, often known as the nasty side. The left side, usually the technical side. That reminds me of the old Atlanta Falcons 2009, 2010. That's how they constructed their offensive line.
You got 3 down.
They run again on first down. Cook. And he'll fight his way forward to about the 48-yard line. 2 yards on the carry there. It'll be second down.
Well, we saw him there trying to get it to the outside, trying to get to the perimeter, but not a whole lot of room there. But there's got to be one positive to that. If you keep moving laterally, creases tend to develop as the game moves on, and they can run it back inside later.
Let's go! Grand 38!
A second down throw for Brissett. Now he'll throw it underneath to his running back, complete. And they'll get him down as he's inside the 40. They give him 13 yards there on the play and a fresh set of downs. Still in search of their first touchdown of the game, but they're on the move. First and 10. Brissett to throw on first. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. And the Texans say they have it. They do.
The psychology of the game never ceases to amaze me because you would think there would never be a fumble from what we hear from coaches all the time, right?
And how much they practice not fumbling.
Practice it, preach it, talk about it all the time. You would think no one would ever turn it over. Yet they are humans out there running around, and we just saw another one.
Opportunistic by the defense.
Strong right.
Set! Green the line! Green the line!
Following the fumble recovery, Watson. And he will find his man on the end route, complete. A fresh set of downs on a gain of 13 there for the Texans.
I think it all came together there. In-breaking route, drove it with excellent pace. Money throw right there to move the sticks.
Watson now 10 of 17 throwing the ball. He's got a first and 10.
Hey. 4 down.
Down! Black 22! Black 22!
And a short gain down to about the 33. Give him a couple on the carry there. Second and 8.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
Watch left. Stop right there. 4 down. Check.
Red! Green the line!
Here's Watson now on second down. Under pressure now, Watson, and down he goes. Daniil Hunter. He's the one to get him, and that's sack number 7 for him on the year. Gonna need something special here on 3rd and long. After that sack, what does Watson have in his arsenal?
Hey, we got 4. We got 4 down.
A shotgun snap for Watson. Oh, the pressure too great, and he goes down once more. Daniil Hunter in there to get him, and that's sack number 8 for him on the year. Here's Jordan Berry now as he's on to punt for Houston. This is taken at the 18. 31 yards on the punt there. And the Vikings will take over here, 1st and 10. And now out comes Minnesota. And last time the turnover on the fumble, and they were in enemy territory, so that had to be very frustrating. Down on the scoreboard here, can't do it again.
You nailed every part of what was frustrating. Down on the scoreboard, had a drive going, had pushed it past the 50-yard line, so they felt like they were in striking distance. And to come away with nothing, not a good feeling at all, to put it mildly. Now they can't afford to do that again.
Yeah, now can they get that bad taste out of their mouth here? They're throwing to start the drive, but that one incomplete.
All right, that one fell incomplete there, but the best quarterbacks, They'll miss on 40% of their throws, somewhere in that neighborhood, similar to a great hitter in baseball who's going to fail 7 out of 10 times and still have a great year. In this case, you want perfection, but way better that it hits the ground instead of going to an opposite color jersey.
Out. 3 down.
Let's go! Red 38! Red 38!
Switch it. Come on, switch it.
Another tote for the workhorse this afternoon. It's Cook. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. The Vikings on 3rd down. They've struggled to the tune of 2 for 8 so far. This is 3rd and 14.
Come on, let's go! Red 38! Red 38!
From the shotgun, it's Brissett. Into the hands of Thielen, complete. And way up past the 35 before he's taken down. A good pick up there at 20 yards.
You can see the time and effort and thought that they put into their passing game because it was evident right there. It looks like a simple pitch and catch, but you and I both know that they have planned for this and worked hard to make it happen.
Flex round! Flex round!
On 1st and 10, Brissett. He's going to float this one deep right side. And now another turnover as this one's intercepted. Picked off by Andre Howe. And he will take this all the way up past the 40-yard line.
Well, this defensive pressure has been constant all game long. The pass rush, the coverage, they've all been excellent, and now they'll tack on an interception here as this one continues to slip just further and further out of hand.
Watson will bring up the Texans here 1st and 10 at their own 42.
Tight right. 4 down.
Down! Blue 80! Blue 80!
Mike, 55. Check, 55.
And they'll go to the ground attack here. And he'll be brought down, losing yardage back at the 40. It's a loss of a yard there, and now 2nd down.
Well, Brandon, pace comes into play now because they've got the advantage. They've got the football, but they've got to be very careful about what speed they're going to play. You know, my music teacher back in New Paltz, Mrs. Bythema Bagley, used to say, don't go prestissimo when you really want to go largo. And what she meant by that is don't go too fast when you really want to go at a nice, slow, deliberate pace.
Back 22!
I am speechless. I am without speech.
Watch 80.
Now they'll run it on the toss. And he'll push this forward only to about the 42-yard line. Tackle made that time by Anthony Barr.
Bottom line, they want to keep this clock rolling, so they'll take that one right there. They just want to keep falling forward, and they want to put the onus on the big fellas up front in order to bring this one home.
The Texans on 3rd down. They've converted just 2 for 6 thus far. This is 3rd and 9.
Back 22! Back 22!
Mike 55. Mike 55.
From the gun, here's Watson. A hit as he throws there, incomplete.
I think he had to unload that one before he wanted to. He was right up in his grill. I think he was a dentist there without a license, don't you?
Just not enough time for the play to develop. Just lucky it wasn't a fumble. Barry on the punt as he gets this one away. Now this is fielded in the end zone. Well, he wasn't too far from breaking that. Officially, give him 15. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. And the Vikings now heading onto the field. And they've sort of lost their way, partner. How do they recalibrate and get this proverbial train back on track?
Well, this is where leadership really comes into play. How's the head coach handling it? The offensive coordinator? Sometimes they just make a joke. All right, guys, having fun? All right,
Throw it out the window.
yeah, let's get back on track here. And sometimes that'll work just fine.
I guess it's time now to lean on that leadership. 5 yards is the tally on 1st down. That brings up 2nd and 5.
Alert.
Here we go! Red 38! Red
much more. And all the way up to the 31-yard line. 12 yards there as they move the chains.
We'll definitely see some open running lanes, and he's taking advantage of it right now, but that shouldn't be a surprise. Defense has the lead. They're playing for the pass first.
Following the good run by Cook, here's another 1st and 10.
Three down.
Play fake here on 1st down. Incomplete.
NFL quarterbacks work so hard on their mechanics, and they do so much repetition and practice, off-season, the whole deal. They expect it to be autopilot once the games start. That way it eliminates any type of pressure of the game, pressure of people in your face, all of that. That didn't shine through on that throw, though, did it?
No. A little bit of a dangerous pass and off target, too. Line of scrimmage, the 31 as they line up, 2nd and 10.
Come on, let's go. White, 90.
On 2nd down, Brissett again. Able to complete this one to Tyler Conklin. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. 17 yards on the pickup there. The drive will continue. It's a 1st down. 1st down, Brissett. And now another turnover as this one's intercepted. Zach Cunningham with a pick. And the return out shy of midfield to the 46-yard line.
Partner, we always talk about possessions being at a premium in these games, and now in this situation, throwing an interception here when you have to claw your way back in, that one's going to hurt, and in a big way.
Watson will bring up the Texans here, 1st and 10 at their own 46.
We got 4. We got
Hey, blue 80. Blue 80.
55 is mine, guys.
Now they try the right side here. And taking it across midfield and inside the 45. It'll be a gain of 10 to start the drive out, and by a few inches, that'll be a 1st down.
All day, baby.
Reset.
Double tight. Even. 4 down. Even.
Set. Green the line.
54 is Mike. Check. Watch 54.
Running game working. They'll stick with it on 1st down. And he'll be brought down at about the 42. 2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8.
Well, they had that one sniffed out. Excellent run blitz. Stop that one for a short gain.
What makes a good run blitz a good run blitz?
The ability to stay on task, to follow up your assignment, go to the gap you're supposed to cover, and not be deterred by anything else.
Tight end left. 4 down.
Down. Blue 80. Blue 80.
6 guy. Check 6 guy.
Tiger.
To throw on 2nd is Watson. Looking left side, and he's got a man. It's Fuller. Touchdown, Houston. Will Fuller with 2 touchdowns on the season, both in this game. And the Texans turn that interception into a touchdown. Point after, right down the middle. And the lead is now 24.
There it is, kid. There it is.
The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. Now the Vikings offense works their way back onto the field. They're sort of seeing themselves spiral out of control. Let's see if they can get things back on track.
And this is where the coach is walking that line of being calm and really being firm with his team. I had one tell me once, when we were having a tough patch, this two shall pass, and if I kept having a rough patch, he said, but you got to do something to make it pass. And that's what they have to do. They've got to get some control back, get themselves reasserted, and calm things down.
See if they can get calm and reassert themselves here.
3 down.
They'll come up now 2nd and 4 from the 31.
Double tight. Hey, guys, check me out.
They run it again. And he'll be limited into a short gain up to about the 34-yard line. A 3-yard pickup on 2nd and 4. Now they'll need to convert here on 3rd and a little more than a yard.
Flex round! Flex round!
Watch twist. Watch twist.
Boy, and now they can't even get a play off. He didn't seem in a rush. I guess they just didn't know where the play clock was.
I think you're right about that because there was no hurried movements there, right? No up-tempo at all. Clock just ran out. I think he was as surprised as maybe his bench was.
Bad time to get a delay of game penalty there. Not that there's a good time, but that makes it 3rd and 6.
Hey. We got three.
Ohio! Ohio!
From the gun, here's the set. And this is going to be incomplete. Another wayward pass. You know, things started out poorly in this game, and to be frank, they just really haven't gotten much better.
And all that does is embolden a secondary. They feel good about what's going on. They just play better and better.
He gets this one away, and boy, it's another boomer. This is brought in at the 21. Nice job bringing that one back. 14 on the return. And out will come the offense as they take over. Heading out is the Texans offense as they get set to take over here. With this lead and the football, things obviously looking good, but maybe, you know, you've taught me this before, maybe this is where the defense is hoping that the offense helps them preserve that shutout that they've got going.
And it has to be in the minds of the offense that they know how rare it is to get a shutout. So take care of them, protect them, take care of the ball. Move it downfield. Run the clock down. You don't want your defense have to go on the field again the rest of the game. Reward them.
Trying to get out wide, but he's going to be tackled right near the line of scrimmage. And he got off the end there very quickly to make that play.
Yeah, it was almost like the bullet train, wasn't it? I mean, just zoom. Quick. And what a terrific play, holding them to no gain.
Time for a break. We'll come back and wrap up garbage time after this.
Double tight.
Down! Blue 80! Blue 80!
He's coming. Double
Another round game here with the running back. And not much doing. He'll get this only up to about the 36. 1 yard, the official pickup there, so it's going to set up 3rd and 9.
Double tight. Hey, we got 4.
Now they'll run it on the toss. And that play is blown up, losing yardage back at the 35. That'll make it 4th down after a loss of 1. Here's Jordan Berry now, as he's on for the 5th time here today. And he deserves a bronze leg as he gets this one away. This is taken around the 12. A good return there, 17 yards. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. That game's now gone final in the Meadowlands. And it was the Jets coming away victorious there. A victory there would mean they're 6th on the year.
Tight ends left. 3 down.
Now a run to the hook. A very good move, but for a short gain out near the 32. 2 yards on the carry there, and it'll be 2nd down.
Defenses always talk about earning the right to rush the passer on 3rd down. And you know what offenses want? Win 1st down so they can set things up for themselves better.
And that wasn't helpful there. Not a big impact on 1st down.
Ohio! Ohio!
Now Cook. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. It's a 10-yard pickup, and it moves the chains. So, Charles, are able to complete what so often seems to be elusive, a shutout in the NFL. And maybe what's fitting is they ended the game on the field. That defense unit on the field. What an exclamation mark.
And probably felt like they could go another 60 minutes without anyone putting points on the board against them. That's the confidence you gain throughout when you're pitching a shutout. And they're going to leave the stadium feeling like they're all 10 feet tall.
So for Houston, a loss would have really hurt. As it stands, they finish the first half at 3-5. And they'll have another home date next week as the Miami Dolphins come to town. Meanwhile, for Minnesota, they fall 2 games under 500 now at 3-5. And they'll try to make amends next week as they host the New Orleans Saints. So for our entire crew, alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. Thanks for watching, everybody. We'll see you next time.